Hello and welcome back everyone to this Warcraft replay, the final game of this best of 3 here. The second last WCA Chinese replay that I have, I think. No, I'm pretty sure there's the playoffs, but I don't know if I'll cast that, honestly. I think I should go away from WCA, but yeah, if I do that, I have no idea what to go into. So, yeah, there's my predicament right there. Anyway, 1-all for Fly and Infi. Fly spawning in as the blue orc player in the top right. He will be facing off against Infi, the yellow human in the bottom left. Let's try that again. The map is on last Refuge. So, yeah, a very common map in like Group A to C, but surprisingly enough, not very common in Group D. I don't exactly know the reasoning behind that. Maybe it's just we don't have enough undead, or we don't have enough night elves. Who knows? It could just be that it's evenly matched for human orc, so that's just that. Right, so last game was a thing, I guess. Definitely it seemed very clear who was going to win after like the first 5 or 6 minutes, I guess. It was a really big blunder from Fly, honestly. And he paid for it very heavily with a loss. Infi just did very well in punishing the mistake that Fly made. And he made one mistake, and then that mistake just started the domino effect, and he just could not come back to that. Which orcs do seem to have a very hard time doing. If they are behind, then it's very hard to come back. Unless you get like a miraculous kill on heroes, as we saw in game 1, then you could obviously win from there, I guess. But still, it didn't happen in game 2, and that's the reason why he lost that. Seems like the troll High Priest camp will be started here, and yeah, pretty common start for an orc. You just solo this High Priest and get the item, run away, and hope to, I guess monopolize off of whatever comes next. Which, in this case, would ideally be a Creepjack, and it will not be a Creepjack, as the Blade Master goes straight after the Archmage instead. So he is obviously very annoyed that he, I guess, got foiled by the Archmage last game, that he just wants to go straight after it. Which probably won't provide too much use, as the Archmage is rather fast on that horse, but the Grunt is coming over and trying to block the Archmage's path, and that was a very weird direction that Infi went to, getting stuck by both the terrain and the Grunt. Half health already for the Archmage, but I don't think it's gonna matter too much. He's already level 2. Oh, the Windwalk might actually prove a bit of a problem there. Sentry wards have been placed down, but well, now that the heroes are actually out of the range, tier 2 for both players should be a thing, and it is indeed. Blade Master is still chasing around. He has yet to go for a boot shop right of now. He doesn't have Circlet either, but he could potentially pick up this Archmage. Burning that TP scroll, although it might seem, pretty good, I don't know if it's going to be absolutely game breaking. Right now the footmen are just long distance creeping, and the Archmage is scaling up a little bit. Very lucky ensnare there from that trapper, I think. Oh, it was the huntsman instead. And the Archmage will live for a little while longer. Blade Master has another Windwalk, but is holding on to that. I guess he'll go for a Windwalk if he has enough for a second one, but he should probably hurry up, as the Archmage is getting near his Arcane Vault, which is not completed yet, so I guess it doesn't matter too much. I'm focusing on this chase way too long, and so is Fly. So back at the base, not much is actually happening. Another elemental gets dropped there, and the grunts are very keen on trying to deal with that Archmage. And we are going to have a TP scroll being burnt here, as second Windwalk was the threat that the Archmage needed, and he needs to be super careful not to get outside in that health range. So luckily enough for the Archmage, he lives. Unluckily, he is going to lose all his pressure from his Archmage until he either destroys a building or takes down the trees. So pretty good start for Fly, I think. It was a very tense chase, but it worked out well for him. He didn't get punished too much. The Archmage didn't actually get a level off during the chase. The Footman didn't clear enough camps, and yeah, he transitioned to tier 2 without any disruptions. He will be going for the double tier 2 production buildings, Bestiary Spirit Lodge, and this is the very first time that Fly is able to get these two buildings out without being pressured by his opponents. So yeah, I would say that was a pretty good opening there for our Orc player. Blood Mage comes out as the second hero. That is actually a pretty interesting choice, and I am very curious as to what the reasoning is behind that. As you can see there, the Blood Mage is constantly providing mana for the Archmage, which is pretty weird to see, to be fairly honest. The Archmage doesn't need immediate mana, as he has Brilliance Aura, and he doesn't use both Blizzard and Elementals at the same time, so I'm very perplexed as to the reasoning behind that pick. So right now both players are just farming up as much as possible. The Blood Mage is already level 2. I think we have a minor hero advantage for Infi right now, as the Archmage is currently level 3, but that might change slowly, as the Shadow Hunter might get himself to level 3 very soon, as the Blade Master is now going on to the Harassive route, going after these Sorceresses as well. +6 Claws, Greater Healing Potion. He still has 1 charge left in his Illusion, so that's in terms of his inventory. Devotion Aura for the Shadow Hunter, so it's not really an entirely useful item for an Orc army, or any army for that matter, but yeah, it might be sold for just extra bit of gold. So I guess the Blood Mage purpose is to just counteract the utility that the Heroes of Fly brings to the battlefield. In terms of the Blade Master, it's just to prevent him from windwalking. In terms of the Shadow Hunter, it's just to prevent him from healing and hexing. So I'm very interested to see how the Blood Mage will execute, because we know what he's gonna bring. Banish is the second ability for the Blood Mage. So Banish, there's no Mountain King to abuse that particular ability, but there are spellcasters who can have their damage amplified. It's going to be a lot of auto attacks, however, as it's not that big of a boost of damage, I don't think, and spellcasters don't actually deal that much damage to begin with. So Scourge Bone Chimes has been on that Archmage for quite a while now, and it doesn't look like he is changing his mind just yet. However, Fly, looming around here, is actually going to take down this Ogre Mauler camp, but I'm pretty sure he's been spotted by Infi, so he needs to take down that Magi very quick and pick up the item. It is going to be a health stone, and we are going to start the fight right now. Shadow Hunter did get banished, but he didn't actually get focus fired by those spellcasters. Nevertheless, he is getting focus fired anyway. Blade Master is going to get banished and get his mana drained. But other than that, not much has been gained for Infi. Fly in a pretty good position here. He has lots of healing with the Hellstone and Greater Healing Potion, and he can claim his own Ogremola camp. It is going to be Mana Stone, be really great, and it is going to be a second Health Stone, so that will be given over to the Shadow Hunter. And Blizzard coming out for the Archmage, so he gets his retrained tome from the Goblin shop and will now begin the siege. So that's the reasoning behind the Blood Mage, I believe, to constantly charge up the Blizzard machine. But of course mana is not the only problem, it is the ensnares and the hexes are another problem to consider, because that is just a quick interrupt on the long casting Blizzard. Hex onto the Blood Mage and a quick ensnare onto the Archmage. And lots of towers for Infi, of course. He doesn't even have a tower pushing hero and he's still going for towers. So let's see how this will turn out to be. Healing Wave being tossed over. The Blade Master finally hits level 3, but Banish is going to take him out of the fight for a little while until he gets disenchanted. Hex onto the Blood Mage, but he does have an invulnerability potion. Infi, on the other hand, on his Archmage, is forced to use that invulnerability potion. No TB scroll, I believe, for the human army, so it is going to be pretty tough to actually get away from this, and it seems like it is going to be Fly the one who is going to force the issue here. Spellbreaker's dealing Spellcast is, you know, shooting a lot of birds, but then again it's birds against orcs, and oh wow, that's pretty good grouping on the Blizzard there. The Blood Mage keeping himself alive thanks to the Banish, and there we go with another Banish there, but he is now out of mana. He is in dire need of help, and he probably could get Zeppelined, but he is ensnared. The Blood Mage gets taken out at level 3, and that is going to be Infi losing a pressure from of having a second hero. Another Healing Wave goes down. The towers are done. So Infi, if he can just get to the safety of his towers, then he might be able to get a lot of support down. But Hex comes over once again, ensnare onto the Zeppelin, and it seems like Fly is going to break through this hero line, and only Sorceresses remain. It doesn't look good for our human player, and it seems like Infi will fall in this best of 3 series 2-1 to Fly. He even uses a Greater Healing Potion or Health Stone, whatever, and takes the series. So I think that was a pretty good series. I'm not sure about my casting quality. I think it's just because I'm on and off every week, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. I will see you guys again next week when I'm done with my exams, and I will commit a lot more to casting Warcraft replays. Take care.